3 minutes now on behalf of the EFDD, John Stuart Agnew.
Well, Commissioner, you'll be relieved to hear that most of my remarks aren't going to be addressed to you directly, because you're the wrong Commissioner, unfortunately, for this particular crisis in agriculture that's about to be visited on my industry by the European Parliament. And this is the quite possible ban on the use of glyphosate on farms, and we are voting on this tomorrow, and it would be disastrous. This is a really big crisis. What has brought this about? Why are we even considering banning this very, very useful material? And the reason is that the World Health Organization have said that it is probably carcinogenic. Now, on the face of it, we might all be very, very concerned about this. Yes, this is serious and we shouldn't be using this material. Until you look at what else the World Health Organization also classes as probably carcinogenic. And they say that sitting in front of a log fire in your home during the winter is probably a carcinogenic activity. They say that working night shifts is probably a carcinogenic activity. They say that cutting human hair, well, that won't worry you or I, Commissioner, but that's probably a carcinogenic activity. Exposure to dry cleaning fluid is probably a carcinogenic activity. And drinking the national drink of Argentina, which is called mate, is also probably a carcinogenic activity. When you look at these things, a ban on glyphosate is ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. But it gets worse than that, because what do they call definitely carcinogenic? Well, that's the consumption of alcohol, the ingestion of the female contraceptive pill, and the consumption of processed meats. And these are deliberately ingested, whereas the glyphosate is just something that you may happen to be exposed to. Now, if we do go ahead with this, what are the alternatives? The alternatives for farmers are to have to cultivate the soil far more than they ever used to. And if you believe in the fact that farmers can improve the world's weather by reducing CO2 outputs from their farms, well, you have scored a massive own goal here if you vote for this tomorrow, because you will pump out CO2 from all these tractor operations to try and control these weeds, perennial weeds of twitch and thistles, and of course the new weed we're all getting now is called blackgrass. That is all going to become very, very much more difficult. Now, what is all this really about? It's about not allowing farmers to grow GM crops, because if you ban glyphosate, there will be no incentive to grow the GM crop. And let's face it, that is what the ban is in aid of. I'm not sure whether the Council are going to have a vote on this. I've been told that they may not, which means our Secretary of State for Agriculture, Elizabeth Truss, will be told tomorrow, by the way, the farmers in Britain can't use glyphosate. What an extraordinary state of affairs.